Kingdom Kids, come on, it's time for another adventure.
Cece, it's story time. Cece, it's story time. Cece always telling the stories, pink hair and socks, and she's never boring. Whiteboard with the orange tie. You need a recap? Derek is your guy. Oh, with a flow so cold. Everybody get ready for adventure mode. Heather with the crew that's so disruptive. Hey, what's that? Friendly interruption. Kingdom Kids, yeah, Kingdom Kids. Kingdom Kids, yeah, Kingdom Kids.
Kingdom Kids, I am so nervous. I have a huge test coming up and I'm really scared that I won't pass it. Man, I could really use some wisdom right now. Hey, who gives us wisdom? You know what? That can be our great big question for today. Who gives us wisdom? Oh, maybe I can study while you all watch our lesson. But before we do that, we need a recap. Take it away, Derek.
One day, while David was walking about his palace, he looked out over the ledge and saw a beautiful woman named Bathsheba. He wanted to marry her, but she was already married to one of David's men in his army. But David still wanted her, so he told the leader of his army to put Uriah in the most dangerous part of the battle to be killed. And David took Bathsheba to be his wife, and they had a child. A prophet named Nathan came to David and told him a story of a rich man who stole from a poor man. Nathan told him that he had sinned before God. God had given David more than he needed, but he still took from someone else. David realized that he had sinned, and Nathan told David that God was going to take away his newborn son to pay for his sins. Wow. Good thing God sent his son to pay for our sins. Back to you, Cece.
Don't mind me. I'm just studying. Hey, does anyone know what 2 plus 2 is? 2 plus 2. Anyone?
Interrupt this regularly scheduled program to bring you this friendly interruption. This time, Joe has a joke that's really gonna knock your socks off.
Hey, Kingdom Kids! I got a fantastic joke for you. Now, what does a cloud wear under his raincoat? Thunderwear!
Well, at least he tried. Back to Cece.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you know what? Just play the lesson.
Adventure mode!
David was still the king of Israel, but he was old and was lying on his deathbed. Before he died, he called for his son Solomon and told him instructions on being the next king. Be strong and serve the Lord. Walk in obedience with him and keep his commandments. Do this so that you may prosper in all that you do. Soon after, David died, and Solomon became king over all of Israel. One day, Solomon went out to a field and offered up 1,000 burnt offerings. After all of that, Solomon was very tired and went home to sleep. While he was sleeping, God came to him in a dream. God told him, "Solomon, ask for anything and I will give it to you." So Solomon answered God and asked him for wisdom to lead his people. Solomon knew that ruling a kingdom was not easy, and he wanted the knowledge to lead the people correctly. God was very pleased that Solomon had asked for wisdom, and he told him, "Since you have asked for wisdom and not for long life, money, or the death of your enemies, I will do what you have asked. I will give you a wise heart so that there will never be anyone like you. But I will also give you wealth and honor even though you have not asked for them. And if you walk in obedience to me as David your father did, I will give you a long life." When Solomon woke up, he praised God and thanked him. Solomon was the wisest king that Israel had ever seen and led his people justly and fairly. Tales of his wisdom spread throughout neighboring kingdoms, and kings and queens went to him for advice. And that's what we learned on
Adventure mode!
When Solomon asked for wisdom, God gave it to him. You know what? That reminds me of this one verse that's found in James 1:5. It says, "Do any of you need wisdom? Ask God for it. He is generous and enjoys giving to everyone, so he will give you wisdom." Well, I think this verse perfectly explains the answer to our great big question. So, boys and girls, who gives us wisdom? God does. Well, that's all for today, Kingdom Kids. Until next time. Bye!